Hello, hello, hello. Great to see you. Awesome to have your company with me for this video. Now, let me ask you something and be honest. When you are presented with an opportunity, whether it be to go out to something for pleasure or get something for your business that you're needing, like whether it be training or go to a conference or something like that, do you ever find yourself saying, "Oh, I haven't got the money for that. I really wish I could go, but I just don't have the money." Or, "Look, I really like to do that, but I just don't have the time. Really love to do it, but yeah, just really strapped on time." Does that sound like you? If you're nodding your head, then you are definitely not alone. And that's why I would like to talk in this video about resourcefulness. That we all have resources available to us, but what is most important, or an extremely important skill to have, is actually resourcefulness, and I'll explain what that is. But if it is your first time here, I'm Melanie Webber, and my channel is all about helping everyday people live their true potential. In a nutshell, live the life that they were put on this earth to do. So if that sounds awesome to you, then please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any information about how to do that. Okay, so let's get into resourcefulness. Now, in this video, I'm going to refer a lot to an article that was published in the business journals and was written by Harvey Mackay, How Being Resourceful Creates Opportunities, and I will include a link down below in the description to the article. The reason I'm referring to it is I just think it really hits the nail on the head and describes resourcefulness very, very, very well. Napoleon Hill, the author, of course, of the famous book Think and Grow Rich, refers to resourcefulness as: a resourceful person will always make the opportunity fit his or her needs. For me, the critical word or the key word in this, and I did make it a different color, is always. They don't come up with excuses. They don't say, "Oh, yep, normally I would do that, but this time's just a little bit too hard." They always make the opportunity fit their needs. Before I share some more about the contents of Harvey's article, for me, resourcefulness really became true, particularly true for me, when I transitioned from being an employee to an entrepreneur, and I'll explain why that is. As an employee, you tend to rely on other people to fix the hard problems, to fix the roadblocks that come up in front of you, simply because you don't have the ultimate accountability, or the buck doesn't stop with you if that problem doesn't get solved. So you do have the flexibility, or the option, I suppose, to rely on your boss, or rely on a supervisor, or rely on other people around you to fix the sticky stuff. Fix the stuff that may not be as sexy, or the stuff that you just deem as a little bit too hard. Whereas, of course, when you're in an entrepreneur or in business for yourself, the buck does stop with you. If you can't find a way to solve a problem, that problem will continue to exist, and it will continue to be a roadblock to your business being successful. So it certainly does change the lens from which you view problems. As an employee, you view problems as, yes, they're there for you to solve, but you don't really have to solve them. There are other options of other people who can solve those problems if you can't. Whereas when you are your own business owner, then you need to find a resolution to those problems. You need to work, you need to think outside the box in order to get a resolution. So now let's talk about the 6 things that Harvey mentions that you can do in order to be resourceful. The first on Harvey's list to being resourceful is open-mindedness. Now, Robert Kiyosaki, in his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, states that a statement closes the mind, whereas a question opens it. So in being open-minded, you embrace possibilities, you embrace outside the box thinking, you abandon all of the traditional ways that you may have solved problems in the past, and really open yourself to explore new ways of thinking and new ways of problem solving. Next on the list is being self-confident. just simply having the belief in ourselves that we can solve this problem. And sometimes that is the greatest obstacle to us. When a problem is presented to us, a problem that we haven't embarked on or come across in the past, it's very easy or a natural thing for the brain to think, well, I haven't been able to solve this in the past. Why will now be any different? So just completely stripping away that disbelief in ourselves and having the confidence and visualizing ourselves actually overcoming the problem. Next is being innovative or innovative. And if you are a fan of Bear Grylls, then you will know, if you have watched any. Next is being adaptable, and this can be quite difficult if you're anything like me, and his natural tendency is to work within the lines or work within a certain construct. This really forces you to really think outside the box, to look at things from a different lens, from a different perspective, looking at things that could be possible rather than just outright crossing them off. The fifth one in the list is persistence. And you may have heard the story about Thomas Edison. It took him over 1,000 goes in order to invent the light bulb. So that's just a demonstration that persistence, just hanging in there, keep going despite what you perceive as failures, or I like to think of them as learning opportunities. Just keep on going, because you never know when you are on the brink of cracking through, having a breakthrough, having success. Just stick with it. And last but not least is adopting the right attitude, being optimistic. What we tell our brain is what our brain believes. So if we constantly tell our brain, I can't do this, it's just too hard, we won't be able to do it. It will be too hard. Whereas if we adopt the mindset of, I can do this, I have got this, I can find a solution, or I will find a solution no matter what, then we are more likely to succeed. We just got to get out of our own way, really, and just do it, as Nike says. I hope this video has been of help to you and made you think, or made you sit back and think about your own ability to be resourceful, because it is such a critical skill in order to be successful, especially if you are in business for yourself or just even in general life. Not coming up with those excuses all the time as to why you can't, but more so looking at how can I make it happen. If you have gotten value from this video, please do drop me a comment below or share it with anyone else you feel would get a lot of value from it. And until I see you on my next video, I hope you take the greatest of care.